Hello to all of the beginners who have just started their journey in the software world, whether you are a web developer, data engineer, software developer, or backend or front end, or whatever you are. As far as you deal with software, you are going to hear the term CICD. But if you are unfamiliar with this term, don't worry, this video is exactly going to be for you, where I'll explain everything you need to know about this in a very easy form. So let's get started. Imagine you are the coolest kid on the block, famous for your delicious lemonade stand. You have a secret recipe that makes the best lemonade in the town. Steps involved in making lemonade are: first, you are going to grab the fresh lemons from your tree, and then you are going to use your trusty lemon squeezer to turn the lemon into juice. Then you are going to add the right amount of sugar to make the perfect lemonade taste. And finally, you will pour the delicious lemonade into a cup and give it to your customers. And there you have it, a refreshing glass of lemonade. But how does that relate to software development? Let's find out. In the world of software, making lemonade is like writing a code. Developers create and edit their code just like squeezing lemons. So step one, where we are gathering the ingredients, in this case we are going to gather all of the requirements, including what the software is supposed to do, what is the expected outcome, what are the customer requirements, and all. Steps 2, squeezing the lemon, that relates to the process of writing the code. You use your trusty lemon squeezer to turn the lemons into the juice, but in this case, the lemon squeezer will be the compiler, and turning into the juice means like a compiler is compiling the code to be executable code. Each lemon represents a piece of code, and squeezing them is like creating and editing your code. Step 3, mix with sugar. This is like the taste and adjust part, where you are testing your lemonade to make just sure that it's right. If it's too sour, you add more sugar. If it's too sweet, you add more water. Testing ensures quality. Here you are integrating your ingredients, just like developer integrates their code. You want to make sure that everything blends together smoothly. So the code has to be tested properly so it generates expected and desired results. Step 4, you pour your delicious lemonade, in this case your code, into a cup. Cup relates to a server, and give it to your customer, in this case the users who are going to use your software or a web or mobile app or whatever it is. So the current lemonade making process, as you have observed, is slow and tiring. It's relying on manual steps at every stage. Every time someone wants a lemonade, you have to squeeze the lemon, mix the sugar, pour it yourself, and then serve it to the customers. This process can't handle, especially in the scenario where you have long queues, much efficiently, and there is no guarantee of consistent taste and quality in each cup. Meet the lemonade stand crew. They are like super helpful team for your lemonade business. John, the squeezer, is pro at squeezing lemons. Every time you pick a new lemon, John jumps in and squeezes it to make sure that it's good. He also checks if the squeezed juice mixes well with the existing sugar to avoid the clumsy mess. Then comes the Mary. Mary is the mixer. She receives the good lemon juice from John, and she double checks to ensure that it contains the perfect amount of sugar for quality and taste assurance. And finally, she serves it to the customers. So this way your customer always gets the latest and greatest lemonade without waiting. This lemonade stand crew, my friend, is your CICD. John is continuous integration partner, whereas Mary is continuous deployment. I have mentioned in the blue line where exactly this relates to your software development scenario. So by now you must have got a good idea about it. So let's leave the lemonade example behind and speak solely about what the typical workflow looks like in a software house. Imagine you and your team is working on a cool app. Your team is constantly working to improve the app with new features and bug fixes. But getting those changes from the developer's machine to the live app isn't as simple as pressing a button. There is a whole process involved to ensure the quality and stability of the app. To stay competitive and meet user needs, the development team needs to release new features and bug fixes frequently. However, manually deploying these changes every time can be a slow and error-prone process. This can lead to delays in getting new features to the users and can also introduce the risk of bugs being accidentally introduced into the production. This is where CI/CD pipelines comes in, with the aim to bridge the gap between development and the operation teams. This pipeline is a series of automated steps that takes the code changes from the developer's machine all the way to the production till it's live. To sum up the advantages and bullet points: faster release, streamlining the process from code change to the live app, delivering the new features and fixes quickly; improve quality, automated testing catches bugs early, preventing them from reaching users in production; reduced risk, automating deployments minimizes human errors and ensures consistent rollouts; increased efficiency. Developers spend less time in manual deployments, freeing them to focus on core development tasks. Greater scalability. The process easily adapts to handle frequent updates and a growing user base. Last but not least, I would also show you what are the typical steps involved in the CI/CD pipelines. So these steps are actually happening within the version control system, like where the developers are actually maintaining and managing their code base. So in the Lemonade example, let's say it's the Lemonade stall where all of that process is happening. But in this case, it's like the GitHub or Bitbucket or any other version control system. So the first step would be that developer pushes their code changes to the repository, and that's what triggers the continuous integration pipeline. The first step is code from the version control is retrieved and placed in a dedicated environment for building and testing. Then the code is compiled or assembled into a usable format. Then followed on with unit testing, where the automated tests are run to ensure individual units of code function as expected. Followed on with integration testing, where tests are run to verify how different parts of the code interacts with each other. Then there is an additional step of security scans that ensures that the code is scanned for vulnerability or security risks. Then in some cases, a human reviewer may need to approve the code before deployment. And finally, if all checks pass, the code is automatically deployed to the staging or production environment. Within these series, I'm going to release other videos related to each and every step involved in this pipeline. For example, how to build the image, how you can do the unit testing, integration testing, what is the difference between these two testings, security scans, and how to deploy your code and all that stuff. So stay tuned for more videos. For now, I think that is all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, and do subscribe if you're new to this channel. So take care. I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.